Hey, how's everybody doing? Everybody good? All right. So tonight just came in as my first live since Walking Dead. First live since Walking Dead. And we just gonna talk about some Teacup. Now, I got a lot of questions about this show because this show really didn't go the way I was kind of expecting it to go. So I'm sure you have questions. If you got any, just voice them. Let me know because we all in this together. But I just finished watching the last episode, as a matter of fact, and I'm like, you know, but I'll wait a few minutes before we get into that. So I just finished watching the last episode, and I'm kind of surprised that there weren't a lot of um aliens in this, right? I kind of expected it to be more non-human, um, maybe a monster or like at least something that didn't look human chasing these people around. And I don't feel like we're getting that. Like when they explained the assassin, I'm like, okay, so there's something I haven't seen yet. Can't wait to see this. And I just get like the coloring of the eyes, and I'm like, okay, all right, well, I guess that's it. Vanessa, I appreciate you hanging out. She says she likes my from reviews. I appreciate that. They did. They dropped 2 episodes of Teacup today. Two. And I had to watch both of them. One of them was an hour or 51 minutes. The other one was half hour. So, um, yeah. So I'll start at the beginning. We'll have a discussion all the way up till this episode. If you got any questions, please let me know, and we'll just talk about it. Nothing formal here. We're just having a good time. So when this show first opened up, right, and there will be spoilers. We'll be talking about everything between episode 1 and episode 5. When this show first started, and that little boy went missing in the woods, I was like, okay, this is about to get deep, you know. And then everybody took their sweet ass time looking for him. Everybody just took their time. His mom was working on a horse that had been scratched up. His father was messing around with some woman he was cheating on his wife with, and they discussing how they don't want to see each other anymore. Your son is missing in the woods at night. And what are we thinking about? What is going on here? Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate the $5. I appreciate that. Melba Toast, Invasion better or worse? Whew. Invasion is always worse. Invasion will always be the answer to that question. Always. It's not horrible, right? It's not terrible. It's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. You know, when you hear aliens, you're expecting to see at least, like, I don't know, something with green men or something with like 3 arms or 4 arms. That's not what you got. What you got was a person whose eyes turn into rainbows for a second. That's it. And I'm looking for monsters, man. You know? I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is it. So after they find this child, after they find this kid, then it's just like this whole thing. Like the boy has been touched by this old woman out in the woods, and this alien has transferred from the old woman to this kid, but it's like a good alien, I guess. So now the boy and the alien both exist in the same body, and he's trying to figure out how to help these people get through all of this. And there's some assassin coming. There's like this big talk of an assassin coming. They got to help him. Nope, just another person with rainbow eyes. Just another person with rainbow eyes, and that was kind of disappointing. It was very disappointing, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, have any of you seen this show? Anybody got any? I mean, what do you think of the show so far? Is anybody loving it? You know, Golden Child says it's much different hanging with or in the country for kids. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I agree. But when you say your kid is missing, and that kid's mother would rather tend to a scraped up horse rather than go find her child in the woods, like I feel like somebody messed up there. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to learn more about the spray paint too. Um, I don't understand what this stuff is yet. I don't understand the connection with the tree. Um, I don't know what's going on there, and I just I feel like they're taking the easy road and getting out of stuff. You watch all of them up until today's episode. Well, I won't spoil it for you right now. Then I won't spoil that episode for you. Um, but it explains a little bit more. You know, so with all this going on, there's a guy who's riding around in his old beat up Chrysler wearing a mask whose name escapes me right now. You give me a second, I'll see if I can look this up. Does anybody know his name? Teacup cast. Just want to get everybody's name right. All right, McNabb. Should have been easy to remember. Why the mask? That's a great question. I have no idea. Oh, I think it's because the mask prevents the alien from transferring to them. Like they're just keeping a barrier between them and they. I could be wrong. I could be completely 100% wrong. Could have to do with something else. I have no idea. Scott Speedman. All right, I'm going to give some thanks for people being in here before we continue on. I want to say thank you to Melba for being in here, Thrasher. Appreciate you, Vanessa. Always appreciate you. Vanessa has she turned me on to another channel, Julie B Deep Dives, where she talks about From. I was myself going to talk about From, but I felt like it was a little disingenuous to talk about a show around the same time that she is discussing the show, and I don't want to take anything away from her because she's a fantastic YouTuber. So I'm talking about Teacup, which is not as good as From, but still all right. You know, science fiction. If you say science fiction, I'm in on it. I'm good with it. It's not gonna be the best, but I'll take it. You know. Let's see. So back to the mask. The mask man is drawing a blue line around this entire farm area, and if you go past that line, um, your body is gonna do some crazy things, and you're not gonna make it out. You're not gonna make it out okay. So I don't know how McNabb knows where that line is or why everyone is so eager to cross this line. Um, in the first episode, uh, Donald's wife, she was in a hurry. She wanted to go home because the lights had gone dark and they couldn't even start their cars. And everybody was starting to come out of the woods from looking for what's the lady's son's name? For Arlo. So they're looking for Arlo, and everybody's coming out of the woods, right? Um, and all of a sudden, his wife starts to head towards the line. They're like, "No, don't stop!" They could easily go stop her, right? They're probably 10 feet away. 10 feet away, and they're just looking at her like, don't go over the line. Just go stop her, you know? And she's ignoring them. I mean, it's that kind of stuff. I'm like, come on, man. Like, would she ignore them? Would they stop? Would they stop? I don't feel like they would. Um, does anybody have any questions about the show so far? I'm trying not to give away too much about the last episode, as there were some people who have not seen it yet. So, used to watch my Walking Dead videos. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I didn't know if I was going to keep doing like the funny stuff because a lot of people were coming in and they would stay for like 3-4 minutes and then they would roll out. And I thought maybe people wanted some more depth to their reviews, less funny, more explanations. So I've tried to add a little bit more explanation and try to kind of give people what they want a little bit, but still trying to throw a few jokes in there every now and then because that's just who I am. Like, that's just how I talk to people. So you got to be you when you're doing this. Why are they not having meetings? Are you talking about in From, or are you talking about in Teacup? I don't know why anybody does. I don't know why any does about. You can talk about Teacup Jim's finishing it up. Okay, so basically what happened is in the leading up to the last episode, at least the last episode they played tonight, they're still dealing with this whole you cheated on my wife thing, which to me is kind of tired at this point. Like, we got bigger problems, you know. We can talk about this later. There's aliens and rainbow goo, and there's 2 people inside my son's body, and there's a black man running around with a mask on, spray painting our lawn with blue paint. So I got plenty of other stuff to worry about that does not have anything to do with my wife currently cheating on me in a relationship. I mean, in our relationship. So so there was a cop that came and visited the farm to try to explain what was going on. And first of all, when he first rolled up, he's like, hey, you know, just whispering and stuff. What are you doing, sir? What are you doing? He just talk out loud like a regular person. He wasn't doing it. I'm here because I'm here to help. I was I was like, all right, my guy, let's keep going. So he's interested in where Arlo is. Right off the bat, you already know that something's not right with this guy, and your hunch would be correct. Turns out he has an alien inside of him. At the moment, you don't know how that alien got there, but in this last episode, there's like a bunch of flashbacks, so you find out a lot. Main character's mother, Ellen, she was in charge of watching. She was in charge of watching the cop, basically, who had the alien inside him, right? And everybody leaves the barn. Why? The person you are running from is right there in the barn. Why are you leaving? Where are you going? So they leave this 80-year-old woman in the loft of this barn to keep an eye on this man with, I think she has, what does she have? What disease does she have? Seems like the wife's fault. Her husband cheated on her. She literally said your husband was right, saying he was cold-hearted. I mean, I remember that part. That was a good get back. Like, she got back at her. Like, And yeah, she was cold, but come on, man. Like nobody deserves to be cheated on, man. No, like no, come on. You can always talk to your spouse and try to come to some sort of agreement. But she was cold. Like she didn't even want to talk to him or nothing. And that's before she found out he cheated. So I don't know. Maybe you're right. I feel like I'd have to go somewhere eventually if my wife, just refused to talk to me for a ridiculous amount of time. Please don't kill me, sweetie. Never one leave one person alone with the bad eye, right? Especially an old lady with a disease that makes her shake, a debilitating disease, and you gave her a gun to watch an alien. Who thought of this? Like somebody should have stopped them. Like in the middle of this plan, like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I would rather a child be upstairs with that man than your grandma. So the cop says that he has to I don't know, he said he had blood in his eye or something like that. Blood in his eye. And he asked her if he could help her, if she could help him get it out. And she says yes. She walks over to this man while he is sitting there, and he just opens his mouth and breathes in her face. And I guess that's how the transfer happens. And then that's it. I'm not lying. I was extremely disappointed when I found out, first of all, that how the aliens are here, right? How they get transferred from one person to another. I'm like, all right, I'm just not going to see the alien at all, like whatsoever. So you don't get to see the alien at all. And after that, you really don't know why they're there in the first place. On top of which, I'm like, okay, I need to see the assassin. Then you find out the assassin is the same thing. The same thing. It's just the assassin's just some rainbow contact lenses. That's it. That's it. I need you to do better than this, Peacock. Come on, man. So in this episode, you get the flashback. In the latest episode, you get the flashback, and turns out that Arlo, or I'm sorry, not Arlo, McNabb. McNabb was drinking at a bar, and he convinced a teenager that aliens were here. Not only were they here, he went super in depth as to how many were here, how they go from one person to another, how they jumped off of comets. And I'm like, bro, how do you know all this stuff? So he continues to go on about this with this entire rant about why they're here and how they help you and what their mission is and all this stuff. And the entire time I'm like, how do you know? But they don't tell you. They don't explain to you right off the bat, right? So I'm looking for a spaceship or anything, right? An alien spaceship or anything. And then they explain that the aliens hitched a ride on a comet, and then they jumped off, and then they were here. And I was like, okay. All right. Is this what we doing? They must not have had enough money in their pockets just to make one. You couldn't make one alien, huh? You couldn't make one alien? So yeah, then you find out that they don't need spaceships because they don't have bodies. And then that was it, basically. I was like, all right, so I'm not gonna see anything. So thanks. Has everybody seen the episode? I mean, what do y'all think of this show? Do you think it's good? Do you think it was anything that do you think it lived up to your expectations? Because I got to be honest, while I'm still going to watch this show, it has not lived up to mine. I had I had fairly low expectations for this show. It looked good, right? They showed this guy with the mask on, and you're so confused. You're looking at the trailer, it's dark. They're showing people running and screaming. And I'm like, yes, let's go. And now, no, 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 Peacock, you got to turn this around. Yeah, I wondered why Teacup myself, Melba. I'm wondering that myself. So I saw that in the beginning. They trapped the wasp or whatever that was in the teacup, and I'm like, okay, all right. So teacup, I got it, but I don't. I don't got it. I don't understand. I don't understand why teacup. I know she had some kind of silly explanation as to what what it was, and if you know, for the life of me, I forgot, and I'm sorry, but it just didn't seem that relevant to the show. I was waiting for something crazy to happen. Melba says bad breath aliens. I agree 100%. 100%. I mean, what were y'all expectations? What did you think you were going to see? Because this has been hyped up for a month or at least or more. Exactly. Golden Child said, I thought it had from similarities. Exactly. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So I figured out, all right, I'll jump on Teacup. It's going to be good. And then I can talk about this. Probably like my third attempt at doing a live. So you have to forgive me if I make some mistakes. But um, you know, you just you just want it to be better. You just want it to be better. All right, so continuing on, they had the teenager who was being taught by McNabb. He's completely bought into this whole story about aliens and what they're doing here, and they like he just want it looks like he just needed a friend, right? But then everything just went south with him in his mind. He was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go shoot up some folks, go capture some people and do some stuff. And the look on that kid's face was like, wait, what? I didn't sign up for that, killer. I didn't know. I didn't do that. I just needed a friend, right? I just needed a friend. And now you're talking about shooting people, and I feel like I made a mistake. It's basically what he looked like. So they get to the farm and they find a tree inside of a silo, which it looked like a Christmas tree, I guess. Um, that's really the only way I can describe it. It just had lights and stuff coming off it, but it just didn't. It didn't look that great. I'm just gonna say it didn't look that great, but it's still fine. Like I'm still along for the ride. So they go inside, and I guess the tree makes you look at it or stare at it or something. And everybody at the farm is dead because of McNabb and the kid he was teaching and the other cop, and the assassin is there. So the assassin jumped into these names, man. They didn't even put his picture on here. They could have cared less. So anyway, the alien jumped into the teenager and then immediately jumped right into the cop that the grandmother shot, and then he jumped into her. So it just seems like it's almost like a poor man's The Thing. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen The Thing? It's like that, only without monsters. So I just feel like that's what it's all about, you know? It just should be better. One of the questions is why there? I don't know. I do not know. It's probably silly. It's probably a silly explanation, like it's a rest stop for aliens or something dumb, right? Why the blue line? How does McNabb know to draw the blue line around the farm? Where did he get? Where? How? How does he know this? That's not explained yet either. They still haven't explained the intentions of the aliens. Not to my knowledge. The As far as I know, Arlo is here to protect humans, I think, but the assassin is here to kill Arlo. So if Arlo just leaves, right, then we're good. I don't know. I don't understand yet. I don't know why. Um yeah, that is a lot of spray paint. That is a lot of spray paint. Um and then when McNabb first comes on the scene, he's got this dry erase board, right? And a marker. And people are asking him questions because they're scared, their life on the line. He's answering these questions just as vague. What's going on? Don't cross the line. what what is happening? He could explain it better. Like, take the mask off. Like, they're not gonna run up to you. Just take the mask off. Hey, there's aliens here. Don't cross that line or you'll die. All right. And just put his mask back on. That don't take nothing. Nothing. So yeah, I don't know. A good and bad Terminator situation going on, says Golden Child. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. You know, um, it. There's just a lot of things that happen that are coincidental in this show, and then in that regard, it reminds me of Invasion. And Lord, I can't wait for that to come back out because I'm definitely doing lives for every one of them episodes. But so, like, I'll give you for instance. So in one of the episodes, there's a cup, right? And there's this cup with this rainbow stuff in it, right? And all of a sudden, McNabb shows up the same time they find this jar. And then McNabb wants the jar so bad he crosses over the blue line to get it. But then the jar breaks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The jar breaks. And then half the goo falls out, right? It's gone. Right. So everybody runs back to the farm. Everybody runs back to the farm and they leave what's left of the goo inside this half broken glass jar. And then they find out that there's half of it left. Invasion was incredibly bad. Incredibly bad. But it was so bad. I had so much fun talking about that show. I hope y'all are with me when that show comes back on, because my God, we're gonna have some fun with that. I've watched is it 2 seasons or 3 seasons? I can't even remember. I think it's 2 seasons. I've watched 2 seasons of that mess. And I don't know who in God's name is watching that show that it just keeps getting renewed. Is it me? Are they renewing it because I'm watching it? Oh, I promise. For those of you who have not seen Invasion, you need to go watch that show. You need to watch that. Ooh, you need to watch that. You ain't never. I promise. I promise. You ain't never in your life seen a show like this. Not never. So back to this. What was I talking about? Oh, the your favorite show? Yeah, I think Invasion's probably not, other than From. Like, From is for real, right? From is good. God, I should have, man. I should have made one of these things do From, but that's all right. So, I mean, which show do you prefer? Are there any diehard Teacup fans in here? Do y'all prefer Teacup or From? What are my favorite shows? What are my favorite shows that I like to cover? Is that what you asking, Melba? And these streams are hard to figure out. I'm still trying to learn how to use these things, but that's all right. We're gonna get through it together. We're gonna get through it together. So, yeah. Anyway, I mean, I'll talk about the other shows too. If anybody asks questions about From or they ask questions about Invasion, I will gladly discuss that on here. But I'm gonna keep talking about Teacup. Where was I? Oh, the rainbow goop. So they realized that they left the rainbow goop in the forest, right? About this much at the bottom of a glass jar. So they run out there to go get it, right? When they get out there, they go to pick it up. All of a sudden, this ginormous wolf coyote thing shows up. And licks the rest of the goop up and then takes off. And they're like, oh man, what are we gonna do now? So it's just stuff that just happening so far. Like, there's no glue that's holding any of this together. And you're looking for that. Like, you're wanting to see what is happening. Like, put all this stuff together, right? You got Arlo and he's here. Okay, Arlo's here. That's fine. Why is he here? Why is the assassin trying to kill him? And I understand that there's mystery to this show. Like, you don't want to give everything away. You kind of want to keep some stuff hidden, but you don't have to keep everything hidden. Everything? I mean, you have to be able to give up one answer to a mystery to keep people involved, to keep me watching, you know? Otherwise, I'm just going to watch and make fun of you. Yeah, I'm not rooting for any particular characters neither. Probably Arlo. No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm pulling for there's one character I'm pulling for. What is his name? What is his name? I'm pulling for Nicholas, right? I'm pulling for Nicholas because Nicholas is working hard to get with Meryl. He is put it on thick. You hear me? He wants Meryl so bad he can't even stand it. I mean, he's telling her, I've been in love with you since the first grade, and she's stitching up his cuts and everything, and you could tell she digging him, but I think he got to man up a little bit more. All right, so what are y'all impressions, man? I mean, you heard what I think about this show. You heard what I think about this show. What are y'all impressions of this show? Like, what were you expecting? Yeah, this is not a good sign. We can't remember their name, but I'm not real good with names anyway. I mean, I try. It is fun for Halloween. I mean, I'm with you on that. I think they're gonna run another 2 episodes on Halloween night. So I'm cool with that. I just I need a monster. Right? You want to draw me back in? I need a monster. I need like something. The only thing that really shook me up was watching people cross the blue line and watching how badly their bodies just got wrecked. You know what I'm saying? The insides on the outside, the ears was over here. Huh? It just that messed me up to the point where I had to rewind it just to go back and look. So that was cool. I feel like I needed another one of those moments to come up, but it's not terrible. I mean, I'd watch it, if it was on and talk about it. Tremors. Tremors is dope. Tremors was probably one of the first. Is that even considered a horror movie? I think it is. I mean, what are your favorite horror movies? We go. Just put your favorite horror movie in the chat. First movie that made me not want to go to sleep, I think, was Gremlins. Gremlins, I think, was the first movie where I was looking for Stripe under my bed. I was, yeah, yep. I didn't even want to drink water. Mm-hmm. After that. Golden Child says, I think it was funny how he kept throwing out scenarios to make the husband question if he knew that he slept with his wife. I think they both did that. The wife and the husband both did that. Like they were both playing with it. You know what I'm saying? They were both like messing around with it. Friends don't let friends do stuff like that, do they, neighbor? I just been like, come on, man. I know you know, huh? Don't be an asshole. I know you know. I know you know. All right, let's just stop. And same with same same was as old boy when they were on that horse. Uh, yeah. Where's my you like riding with my wife too, bro? I know you know. I know you know. Just stop playing around. I don't know why you wouldn't approach him the second you found out that your wife had been cheating on you. I'm pretty sure that's something I couldn't have kept to myself. I'm gonna let you know right off the bat. He was hiding behind the door. I think in the third episode, he had overheard his wife talking to her husband about the fact that he had cheated. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. I'd have just ear hustling and then walked outside like we was cool. No, no, no. In no universe would I have done none of that. Right? The second I hear you even start to say cheat, 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 the second I hear you say anything like that, anything, we fighting right there on the spot. You did what? And how are you going to do it with the neighbor? Huh? There's only two of y'all in town. You gonna sleep with the next door neighbor wife, and he came up with this bad excuse too. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. You accidentally slept with the neighbor's wife, bruh. I'm not gonna do it again. It was an accident. We broke it off. Yeah, you broke it off, but y'all did the dirty first, right? You smashed, right? You think telling them we're done fixes everything? Like we're not having sex anymore. So, oh, all right, well, that's good. At least that. So we're fine now. I used to be mad, but as long as you're not having sex anymore, then we're fine. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why people say stuff like that when they cheat. Like that's gonna make anything better. I didn't tell her I loved her. Oh. I've heard. I had a friend say that once to their wife. Right? Would any of you have kept quiet when you found out that your spouse had been cheating on you and you just overheard it? Right? That somebody was at your house just doing the dirty with the way I'm trying to stay PC. I'm trying. I don't want to say like I'm like I would say stuff for to get people to laugh, but I don't want to go overboard and say stuff to make people run off. So that's that, man. I don't feel like I would have kept quiet. Going back to Melba's request, Tremors was good. Tremors was another one that had me scared. Jaws is probably another one. What's your favorite Halloween movie? And I really hope it's not anything corny like Halloween or like uh Freddy Krueger or anything dumb like that or Jason. Please don't tell me it's any of them. Give me something good at least. Give me a good horror movie. A good Halloween horror movie. Okay. Nobody got anything. All right. So, all right, we're going back to probably the third episode of this show. I I just I need to know what they were thinking. Like what was the inspiration for this show? Right? I don't even know how many episodes it is. Does anybody know? None of the Freddies were scary. Are you serious? This old burn up man with knives for hands and a cheap ass sweater? You thought that was scary? That wasn't scary, man. Come on, stop it. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Yeah, they were pretty good. I don't know. I don't. Maybe one of y'all know is it's. I can't remember the name of it. It's like this clown or something. He's like all white. He's got like black eyes or something, and they don't care what they do in them movies. Like they kill kids. Okay, they they do not care. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's ridiculous. Mel Bateau says I can't find the name, but it was by a heavy metal band member. I Rob Zombie. I think you're talking about Rob Zombie. Yeah, yeah. I think Tech Sama. She got it right. 2 points for you. House of a Thousand Corpses. Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods was good. Probably another one I was not expecting to be so great. Turned out to be excellent. Um, what else? What other movies you got? None of the Jasons, none of the Jawses, none of them. Um, Devil Rejects. That was all right. I like that. Devil. That was pretty good with the I think the whole film was shot mostly in an elevator, I think here in Philly. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Not super scary, but it was still pretty good. Pretty good thriller. I get the feeling I should have just talked about From because I feel like I talk about From like all damn night. Does everybody here watch From? Everybody? Anybody? Nothing scary anymore because we're used to it. All right, I think here in a second I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna start talking about From because I love that show and I need feedback on that show. And I got a lot more to say about From than I do about Teacup. So, let's see. Haven't started season 3 of what? Of what yet? From? You watch my reviews. That's great. Just finished. Just finished Orphan Black Echoes. We'll be starting From soon. Just finished episode 2 of Teacup. Says Tech. All right. Tech, would it offend you if I started talking about From? Like, would it bother anybody if I started talking about From? Like, would I give away spoilers to anyone? Because I can stay on Teacup if you want me to. All right, here we go. So, where should I start? I'm gonna start at the beginning of this season. I'm gonna start at the beginning of season 3. Um, so I haven't reviewed all of From. I don't know if I did the first season. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. I thought it was gonna be like I was expecting it to be like Teacup, right? Because you don't really see a lot of good um thought provoking shows like scary shows on any of these streaming services. Like you're not going to find usually a really good show. You got to like dig for it. And From just happened to be one of those ones that sprung up that happened to be really really good. And I think season 3 is probably my favorite season whatsoever. And this last episode last Sunday is probably my favorite episode. which we will get into in a minute. So this season um started off with a bang, right? Because right off the bat, um the people in this town, they always seem to get tricked. They always seem to get tricked by these monsters that live in town. For those of you who don't know the show, give you a quick recap. There's a town that once you come up on a tree that's in the middle of the road, you know that you've entered this town. And there's no getting out, at least for most people. And once you are in this town, if you are not inside at night, these monsters will come by and they look human, right? And if they get their hands on you, they will bring your insides on your outsides. And they do a lot of damage, a lot. So, in the beginning of this season, they had the monsters came out and they always seem to find a way to get people out of their homes, right? They always did something. Like it seemed like they were always one step ahead of the people who were in this town. They always managed to get people outside at night somehow. Text says, I know From was going to be good. The first when the girl opened the window and got killed and Boyd was smacking people around. Yeah, man. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that. When they filleted that girl open, I was like, oh, oh, hold up. What are we doing? What are we doing here? So yeah, so like Tech says in the beginning, in the first season, that's when you're introduced to the monsters. Monsters knocked on a window of a little girl. I believe it was a little girl, and she let the monster in. And when the father came upstairs, no, someone found the little girl. The father was drunk, I believe, and they blame the father because he didn't lock the door, or he didn't check on his kids or something. He didn't care about his family the way he should have. He was kind of a bad father. And he goes upstairs and see his entire family, and it wasn't good. It was not good at all. They ran through his family pretty terribly. So they put him in a box, and the monsters tore him up because of what he had done. And that just seemed to be the law of the land. And you're introduced to Boyd and some of the other characters, and you kind of gain an affinity for Boyd, who technically is, I think, probably my favorite character. Dad was out drunk. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the dad was out drunk. Where are they getting all this stuff? Right? I just have a few questions. Like uh Fatima is smoking weed. Where you get weed? Where you get weed? In the town of From? Huh? Where are you getting where are you getting weed and from? Huh? Are you growing it out there? What is happening? How long have you been out there? Melba, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You gotta go to sleep. I understand. I get it. Thank you. Some people got to work tomorrow. I do not. Harold Pinot cares a lot of that show, and I'm there for it. Excellent actor. Yeah, he is. Yes, he is, and he is showing off this season. Showing off this season. So this season we start out with hang on, let me bring up the cast. All right, so you got Boyd, right? They are basically the town's police, so to speak. Like Boyd is that guy who's looking out for everybody. Boyd is a retired Marine, and he has been through absolute hell since season one. Um, Watching him having to shoot his wife because his wife was going to kill their son. He thought, or she thought, that they were in a dream, and the only way to wake up from this dream was to shoot everybody. Why, lady? Most people, they pinch yourself to wake up, not shoot people in the face. Where'd she learn this? Where'd she learn this at? What book she get this out of? So Kenny's mom, I think the entire time I did the review, I kept calling it his grandmother. She is helping to corral these cows. The monsters let the food source out of its pen. The cows, goats, stuff like that. And Boyd realized the seriousness of this situation, so he needs to round all this stuff back up, or they're going to starve, and he knows this, so he has to risk going outside and wrangling all this stuff again. So that's what he does. He gets them all back to the barn, and the monsters are walking after them. And I said in my review, I feel like I could, you know what I'm saying? If you're walking, you're a monster. I feel like I can get by you. Like, just put them moves on you and get around you. But Boy gets them all back to the barn, and when they get inside, they realize that it was a trap, and they tie up Boyd and they make him watch as they kill Kenny's mom, not his grandmother, but his mom. And damn, they literally ripped her to pieces while Boyd watched. And you can understand what Boyd's problem was, as he had to sit there and watch her being pulled apart, and the monsters making him, because the monsters that overheard him say that they couldn't break him. There was no way that they could break him. And I think that the challenge for them is to break Boyd, because Boyd is the guardian. He seems to be the guardian of all of these people, right? If Boyd gives up, then this entire town is washed. So I feel like, in a way, they're not in such a hurry to kill Boyd, but to break him down and make him see that you're not in control of anything. And at any point, we can take control of this entire situation and wipe this entire town out. And I think if they break Boyd, like, they know that they would have the town to themselves. They could do whatever. And that was pretty interesting to me, that they got to do that. At the time she was being killed, Kenny was out getting lettuce from a lake that was just growing by itself off someplace. And him and Jim, oh, look, there's lettuce and carrots just growing here all by itself by a lake. What? Come on, man. Come on with that. So they find this food source. Yeah, Golden Child. I think the same thing. You think they feed off fear? Me too. I think they feed off fear. I don't think they just want to kill you. I think they want to scare the shit out of you. Make you feel hopeless in a way, My issue since season one is that Victor had been here since forever. And not one person, not one, has gone up to Victor and said, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, let's talk about this place. We should talk about how to get out of here, What have you seen in the 40 years that you have been here? You seen anything? Anything at all? No one wants to talk to Victor? Nobody? Nobody? Okay. I guess nobody wants to go home. There are no town halls every day discussing how people see things in their mind. Elgin showed up on a bus, and he's seeing all types of crazy stuff, and he ain't talked to nobody. So I digress. I'm gonna move back to season 3. Runs in the forest for the tree porters. I know, right? Ugh, okay. So after Kenny finds out about his dead mom, he has to push on, and they all have to try to figure out a way to push forward, right? And what is her name? Tabitha. Tabitha somehow finds a way back to, I think she's in Maine when she gets out. She gets pushed out of the lighthouse by a kid, one of the kids in white. And after she gets pushed out of the lighthouse, she ends up in Maine in a hospital. And while she's trying to figure all of this out, Jim is back home and he's having to deal with the kids who are struggling to deal with the fact that their mother may be dead. They don't know, and I think that not knowing is probably worse if they actually knew. And they're just kind of like acting out, just saying all types of crazy stuff to their daddy. Just, I'm gonna do this, dad. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna go feed the animals. And he with it. Like he just saying, okay, I'm sorry, you know. And I watched this week in and week out, and I gotta be honest with you. Ooh, I'd have whooped them kids' ass. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I understand grief. I understand grief. I promise you I do. But you ain't finna talk to me crazy. I don't care where we at. I don't care if monsters around. I don't care what's around. You ain't finna disrespect me. Not in the town I'm from. You ain't got to worry about no monster. Not one monster do you have to worry about whooping that ass. So after they find the food and find this food source and come on back, they notice that a few things are starting to change. Now, this episode changes for me. This episode picks up for me, or this season picks up for me with the dialogue. The dialogue is exceptional, especially between Boyd and the lady Donna. The lady's always got her hands in her green pockets. She has always come to Boyd for pick me up, right? It seems like every time Donna goes down, she always goes to Boyd, and Boyd has to try to bring her up somehow. Like it's his responsibility, and it's not, but he does it anyway. And I get it, but I don't know why everybody consistently needs Boyd to lift them up, right? That's not his job. He needs help too. He's stuck. He don't want to be there. So there's that. There's that whole entire situation, right? They're dealing with the monsters, dealing with the loss of Kenny's mom, and they're trying to figure out what is going on. What's the deal with the trees? Trying to deal with the fact that Tabitha's gone, and things are starting to look crazy for Fatima because Fatima and is pregnant, which is completely irresponsible. How are you having kids in this town? Hmm? How are you doing that? How are you having sex in the town of From unprotected with and possibly having children? Did you see what's outside that comes outside every night? Huh? These razor sharp tooth beasts that come out and want to just rip your face off. Right? There ain't no prophylactics in the town of From. You can't just be getting at it, huh? Wherever you want to, however you want. You just can't be doing that. Anyway, so that's the situation. Fatima was going through something unexpected as she can't eat real food. She starts to devour um old crops, like rotting crops. And that's the only thing that satisfies her. At the time, that's the only thing that satisfies her. And the theories are that she's turning, that her baby is a monster, And I I think she's turning, if I'm being honest. I think that this is another way to hurt Boyd, another way to take something away from him. If his daughter-in-law is hurting, then his daughter, and then his son is hurting, which in turn hurts Boyd. So, what do y'all think, man? What is your favorite part of this season? Because I forgot to ask questions. I'm just sitting here yammering on about this season. Before I go any further, I want to know what y'all think. Huh? They got weed and stuff to bill still for alcohol, but no birth control. Yeah, how about that? Thrasher says there's an interesting fan theory that Tabitha and Victor's sister, who actually escaped the town when she was a child. That is a fantastic theory. Um, that's a good point. I never considered that, but that's a good theory. I've heard that this place somehow is protecting Victor. That this is something that he manifested as a child somehow. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I believe Victor is involved somehow. Um, and I want to hear your theories, man. I want to hear everything that you have to say on this topic. I need to know what your theories are. Live from the bushes says Henry would have recognized Tabitha if she was his daughter. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure certain things out. Like, what is the connection to the children with Victor? Like, where because they protected him when he was the last one in town. So, what is that connection? Why is nobody talking to Victor? Why is nobody talking to Victor? Um, yeah, so um there are things that I'm still trying to piece together. Like when Boyd went to the forest and he stayed at that, I don't know, it was like a hut or something. I think he went with Steve. I think he went with Steve. At least oh, I'm sorry, not Steve. Kenny. I'm stupid. My bad. So he goes with Kenny and he hears like knocking outside. I can't remember if it was a tent or if they were in like a small cabin or whatever, but they hear knocking, right? Banging. So they decide to turn back. They go back home. When they get back home, he kind of keeps it to himself. No one shares when they when they experience stuff on this show. Nobody. Not Jim. No one. Jim gets a phone call and from his dead son and just tells nobody like it's a regular occurrence. But we'll get there. So later on in the episode, or later on, they um um Kenny goes back out and he realizes that something is knocking on the cabin where he is. I think that there's a I think that there's a connection between the distance that they travel and this thing that is kind of forcing everyone to turn around. I think they're getting closer to some answers, and this thing is kind of like the Wizard of Oz, right? You know how the wizard had that huge face and it was meant to scare people, turn them back. I think this is the same thing in essence. Like it's meant to make them stay away from these answers over here. Go back to where you're from. So I find that to be fascinating. Um, the magic trees I find to be fascinating. I'm still trying to figure out the deal with the bottles hanging from the magic tree. What do you guys got, man? Anything interesting? Any theories? Any other theories that you guys got going on? All right. As you guys type it in, I'll read them out. But I'm gonna continue on with season 3. So where did I leave off? Kenny's mom is passed. They're trying to figure everything out. All right. So, oh, that's right. Why do charms only work on buildings and not people? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I noticed that that man, these names are escaping me tonight. The dude on the bus, Randall, the dude on the bus. I think Randall held it in his hand and he told the monsters to get back. And they gave him kind of a smart ass remark saying, "Oh, sweet, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all." Um, I think the later episodes, like the last 2 or 3 episodes of this third season, have been genius to me. Um, Getting Randall off the bus, and when they get Randall off the bus, because the ambulance has come back, right? Tabitha has somehow made it back to this town, and she realizes immediately once she sees that tree that she's back there. I didn't understand like her continued shock as she gets out of the ambulance and stares at the tree. Lady, you know what this is. Like you've been here, right? And you know what comes next. So let's stop staring at this tree. Get back in the ambulance and let's go. You know what you got to do. She couldn't explain to the people on the ambulance that hey, monsters are outside. And we should probably go. So I understand her wanting to get back. I know she couldn't really say much to the cop or the ambulance driver, but the ambulance driver was lost, right? He had no idea where he was. His GPS wasn't working, and he was in the woods. He didn't start in the woods. And as he drives through this town, he sees these people and he does not stop. Sir, why are you not stopping? Why have you not stopped and asked somebody direction? At least roll the window down, you know? Hey, where are we? What town? What town is this? Nothing. He didn't do any of that. So Thrasher says, I believe the town not only manifests people people's fears, but their hopes as well. Unfortunately, fears. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think they give people hope just to take it away. Um, Again, Boyd being that example, Fatima being another example. I think they're doing this to her on purpose. Um, I think that they took away the crops. Like I don't think anything happened to the soil. I just think that the monsters are messing with them by killing their crop, having to have them forage and go a great distance away to have to find some more stuff. So I just feel like again that's them messing with him. What is the deal with Tabitha and Jim's son Thomas? Um, I think Thomas, if if I remember correctly, didn't Thomas was Thomas the boy that died when they first got there in the camper? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's what I thought. So I don't know what's going on there. There are a lot of questions that I have. He died before that. That wasn't him. He didn't die in there. Oh, you're right. You're right. He wasn't in the thing before when they when that van flipped. All right. Anyway, Yeah, so his dead son is on the phone, and he's talking to his father, and he's telling him, like, he's basically warning them. Your children are outside after dark. You should probably go get them. Live from Bullet says, yeah, no, he died pre-show. Okay. All right. I know somebody was trapped in the camper, and I think, oh, that's right. They went back with help to go get him out before nightfall. What was I saying? Um, where was I at? That's not Thomas on the phone. That's an entity or a monster. Yeah, I figured as much. I figured that it was an entity on the other end of the phone. But here, I got a question for you, for anybody that's listening. And I just noticed it today, when the episode came on, and it was when Victor's father's outside. He's staring at the motel sign. I don't know how I missed this. And Jim's son asked him, "What are you looking at?" He said, "Well, there's a pool here, and there's a sign that says motel. Where's the motel?" That's probably nothing. It's not a big deal, but it's another question, like, what? Where? It Did this come from someplace else? Did this car that's in the pool just come from someplace else? Or no, that's been there because they said that it's been so long that they have forgotten how it got there, but they were there for it. So I'm gonna start talking about my favorite parts of season 3. They are pretending to be Thomas. Yeah, they are pretending to be Thomas, but you know, um, maybe they're just doing that to mess with Jim. Well, why doesn't Jim tell the rest of the town that his dead son is calling him? Would that make sense? I don't know. Why doesn't Elgin, who is seeing dead people, tell the people in that house that, hey, there's this old wrinkly lady that I'm seeing every night. Maybe you could give me something, some pills or something to help me sleep, or should I just talk to her and tell you guys what she's saying? Something. I don't understand why we're just living life in this town. Why are we not discussing these things? Like, why are we just growing crops and just trying to have a good day? Why are we not trying to figure this out? So I think, again, like I said, this last episode was my favorite, and I think it started with the town hall. The town hall in this last episode was incredible. As I think it's Dale. Dale seemed to be bored with the fact that everybody's trying to or that they're taking so long explaining this, like he had something else to do. Dale, you ain't got nothing to do. Okay, we're trying to figure out how to get out of this town. But Dale has been a thorn in everybody's side, just starting shit no matter where he's at. No matter where he's at. And he seems to be in rush, and everybody wants answers. They want to know how did uh Tabitha, I keep wanting to call her Athena. How did Tabitha get home? How can we get home? So they're expecting to hear something grandiose from Tabitha, right? And then they find out that she's at home, and they find out that she should have, or that they're telling her that she should have told somebody. Who, bitch? Who would she have told about this? Oh yeah, um, I just came from this magic tree from this town that don't exist, and there's people are in trouble because there's monsters that come out at night, but they look like people. Can you help me? Is that what she's supposed to say? They'd have put her ass in a loony bin. There ain't no way she'd have got back. And they just keep hitting her with this, and I'm just like, these people are stupid. Like, you want me to go tell a cop about this? There's no way. Come on, man. Um, when the cop showed up and she shot, um, who was the woman in the window? Was it Nina or Nancy or something like that? What was her name? They would have locked her up and disappeared her for. Yeah, they'd have locked her up for real. She wouldn't have got halfway through that explanation before they whooped her ass and put her in a what? Monsters? Yeah, yeah, I know all about that. Yeah. Oh, tell me more about the monsters. Yeah, can you put these bracelets on? They protect you. They got powers. Get your ass in the back of this truck, stupid. So, Nikki, thank you. Live from the bushes is saving my ass tonight. So Nikki, who clearly has never been in a bad neighborhood before in her life, decides she wants to look out the window while this officer is shooting monsters. And eventually Nikki gets shot in the side. And they have to tend to Nikki. Now, Boyd comes back and sees Nikki is shot, and he is upset with the officer. And he says that you just get upset and you start shooting, huh, officer? Now, last week I had to deal with there were a lot of people who were upset about this scene for a couple of reasons. One, they didn't like the fact that they were bringing real world problems into From. Thrasher says, "Rest in peace, Dale. R.I.P. Nikki. We hardly knew you." I say to hell with Dale. You know, hard head make a soft ass. Dale been pulling at everybody's strings. He been pushing buttons the whole time. The whole time. It wouldn't matter if he was out foraging or if he was in that house or if he was just in this little diner. He been pissing people off since day one. Boyd, so I think it was more than just leaving Randall behind. I think Boyd was just he was over it all. Like he was just upset with everything. Now, here were the two different sides. Tex says, "I mean, if I see monsters and I got a gun, I'm gonna let it." You damn right. That is my point. So that's what I was getting ready to say. That's exactly what I was about to say. Put yourself in a position of this cop. Like she just got here, right? She just got here. The two people that she knows about are laying out front of the ambulance with they intestines out, right? As far as she knows, the only people left are her and the two people she does not know in the back of this ambulance who have just told her that there are monsters outside, right? And now she goes out trying to find a safe place, right? And there are monsters coming at her from every direction. Every direction. As far as she knows, there's no safe place. None. Anywhere. And I believe I would have done the same thing. So should she be given a pass for shooting Nikki? No. Should she be treated as harshly as Boyd is treating her? No. I think Boyd is taking it too far. I think that I understand his anger and his frustration, but it's misplaced. Like this woman was trying to save her own life, and the only way for her to get a handle on the situation was because, again, she does not know the people in the back of this ambulance, right? She doesn't know the people in the back of the ambulance. So to her, she's just trying to stay safe. And if she can lock up these two people to this ambulance, she knows that they can't get to her, which is a good idea. It's a fantastic idea. And Boyd hated it. He thought she was a terrible officer. I completely 100% disagree. 100% disagree. She did what she could to survive, and she feels bad about it. So I just feel like Boyd should kind of let up. They thought that was out of character for Boyd. A lot of comments that I had seen said it was out of character for Boyd. They thought that he was the protector, like he would not have taken it this far. And I don't know. I feel like everybody's got a breaking point, and Boyd has never snapped. Like Boyd has had to be that rubber band for everybody else, right? But he has never himself had the freedom to just lose his mind on somebody. It's always everybody else. It's Donna, it's his son, it's Fatima, it's Dale, it's always somebody else who gets to lose their shit, and and boy just has to focus and try to bring them back up. Tex says boy been unhinged since he went in that tree and got sent to the past. I didn't know where his ass went. He when he ended up in that chimney, and I'm confused. I was like, what is going on? Then he ended up in a dungeon with like invisible worms in his arms. I'm like, what the shit? Did I miss something? What is going on? What is happening to Boyd? But apparently it all worked out as he put the worms in a monster and the monster died, I guess. Matter of fact, I don't know why I'm thinking this earlier. Why don't they try to find that cave again and go back there? Right? If that's the thing that helped you kill them, you know, we got to start working on stuff. Tech says the dungeons with the woman in season 2 had him looking crazy. Yeah, he had him looking real weird. Again, he didn't want to tell nobody, did he? He didn't tell nobody until it was like he just sitting there looking like he did crack, right? Just smacking himself, doing all of this, right? I know they thought he was high. I know they did. Didn't nobody say nothing to him. They thought Boy's ass was high. Thrasher costed the Tiffany Gooms up from that guy back there. You don't know where the tree will take you. Yeah, that was I can understand everybody's frustration and could understand that they found out that she had gone home. Right? But once Boyd said that he ended up in a chimney, right? That would change most people's mind. Yeah, that would change a lot of people's mind. It would change mine. You were where, sir? Oh, so this goes more than one place? Okay. All right. No, I'm gonna stay here. That'd have been my response. Not Dale. Not Dale. Dale ended up in a swimming pool wall. Well, I don't even know how to explain this to you. I have no idea how to explain this to you. I can't even imagine. He looked like he was in some serious pain. The only thing was sticking out of his wall, I think, was his knee, his fingertips, and this side of his face. But he had wall in his mouth and his nose surrounding his eyes. He couldn't talk. And everybody's just panicked. And I'm like, Dale, why did you do it, dog? Why did you do that? You didn't have to do this. You know, we could have figured it out. But now you're going to be here forever, stuck in this pool with no water in it. Good job. Laugh in the bushes. Dale said he would be poolside in no time. Yes, he got his wish. I didn't think about that. That's right. The lighthouse or cave seems to be the destination should be going to try to get repeatedly. Yes. I will admit, because I'm not ashamed to admit this, that when Victor saw his father and hugged him, right? I was cool. I was cool at that point, right? I was all right at that point because I saw that Victor was hoping that his father would accept him, and vice versa with his dad. Like his dad was just hoping that he didn't hate him. And then when Victor hugged him and cried and said, "I didn't know how to get home," bro, I I cried. I cried. I cried. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. I don't care what none of y'all think. I cried. It just came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to get hit by Victor like that. I didn't know how to get home. I didn't know how to get home. Man, that hit so hard. And I was like, wow. Like to hear that in his voice, right? To hear him say that it, and finally have his arms around his father. It was deep, man. It was real deep. I didn't know how to get home. So I thought that was incredible. I was an incredible scene. Fantastic scene. Um, yeah. I mean, was I the only one I mean, was it just me and Live from the Bushes that cried, man? Y'all can admit it, huh? This is a safe space. This is a safe space. You don't have to, you ain't got to be hard here. Huh? Just go ahead and admit it. You cried. That's all good. Huh? We look after each other here. It's all good. Um, what else? What were y'all favorite scenes, man? What were y'all favorite scenes? What did y'all love? I mean, any point in this season, what was your favorite scene and what do you think could possibly be an answer to their problems? Like, I don't think getting pushed out of a lighthouse, is the end. I mean, is the route that I would go. Right? I'm not looking to get pushed out of a window. Thrasher says, I didn't cry, but coincidentally, I had something in my eye at the time. Yeah, I feel you. I get it, Me too. Me too. In both eyes. It was crazy. It jumped out of one and jumped in the other. And I had to rub them, you know. Um, what else? What other scenes, man? What was something that captured you? Right? What was something that got you? LJ, what's happening? Good to see you too. Okay. Yeah, any theories, any ideas that you got what we're going to see next episode? Um any ideas at all? Um again, I think Boyd is my favorite character. I think he's had the best dialogue this season. Um Boyd finally letting the town have it after they found Dale. That's a good point. That's a good point. They all finally get to see what Boyd does for them. I'd have probably been cussing a little bit more. Probably been I'd have probably rubbed their nose in a little bit more than he did, but that's just me. You know, look, bitch, you see what you did. But that's just me. I'm different like that. But um, I think that the conversation that he had with his son. There's so many open storylines that they need to start progressing a few. As you said, these people need to start taking one at a time. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I don't even think the writers know how this is going to end. I don't think they have any particular reason as to why any of this is happening yet. I just hope it's not like The Walking Dead where there's like no reason for any of this and it's just going to be like this. They just have to survive in this town. I hope that there's an answer for them to get out and that they don't end this with them just being stuck in this town. Or are they dead? Is this purgatory? Like, is this where you go? Like to prove yourself? Is that what's happening here? Like, did Jim and his family die in a car accident and this is where they ended up? No, that wouldn't make sense because then that would mean Tabitha died twice. So, no, that ain't gonna work. How have the hippie commune not all been killed yet? Clue: the creators has been writing this for 23 years. Jesus. Walking Dead deviated from the graphic novel, and the writers turned it into a shit show. I agree. I agree. Um I think the problem with The Walking Dead was they got too big for their britches. They thought that um they thought that they were the shit. They knew that they had the best show on TV. And they just started doing whatever they wanted. I mean, they had Talking After Dark or Talking Dead or whatever that show was. They had people showing up to that in LA. Um, they had parties for it. People were showing up at like these huge numbers to watch this show. And then they just thought they could do whatever. They thought that they could extend enemies for like seasons and not do anything and not have anybody die. Negan's story was ridiculous. And they just kept carrying on and on and on with no end in sight, just telling one story after another, dealing with the governor, and then it was Negan, and then all these other things. It was the same story, you just changed the enemy over and over and over again. And you got cute. They got cute and they tore it up. They messed up. Now they're trying to get it back. It ain't coming back because no one cares anymore. They did the same thing with Game of Thrones. I think Game of Thrones was a different story. Game of Thrones was a different kind of story. I think Game of Thrones will probably go down in history as probably the the best show that I've ever seen on TV. It didn't start out great, but it ended well, it didn't end great either, but you saw that the story was there, right? You saw that there was something there. Like it was amazing. They just rushed it at the end. But I mean, that's another one. It was another fantastic show, but you don't find shows like that. Like even the new one, House of Dragons, is decent, but it's not Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? Those shows only come along every now and again. From I think has the potential to be another one of those shows. But just like Live from Bushes said, you got to start tying some of this stuff up, right? You can only dangle that carrot in front of people for so long. Like they have to have something to hold on to keep them watching. You just can't you just can't keep doing this. I never saw Lost. I never saw Lost at all. And apparently it pissed off a lot of people. So I think that was a show that was I should watch Lost. Really? Was it that good? If you tell me Lost was that good, okay. Okay. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. You would enjoy Lost commentary. How old is that show? That show like 15 years old, I think. I'm gonna watch it because y'all say it's good. If it's that good, I mean, is it like Walking Dead, Game of Thrones good? Is it that good? 20 years old. All right, so that's two yeses, man. There's two people saying it is that good. All right, I'm watching it then. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. And if it's good, then I'll do a review on it. I'll do a review on it. You're about to rewatch it? It must have been damn good then, because I just rewatched the entire season or all seasons, all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, all 8 seasons in like 4 days. I just kept watching them back to back to back. Thrasher says I watched every episode of Lost as it came out. I didn't get the ending when I first saw it overall. I thought it was solid. Lost is a good rewatch. All right, man. Y'all sold me. Y'all sold me. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm gonna watch Lost. I'm gonna watch Lost. Are there any other shows out there that you think are like top tier? You know, just like it doesn't matter if they're old or not. What did I just watch? It was on Amazon. It was a vampire show, and it was kind of cheap. Like it was real cheap. The Strain, I think it was called The Strain. Yeah, Game of Thrones. Matter of fact, I'd probably watch Game of Thrones for like a third time. I think it got good between seasons. You know, I'd say between 4 and 7. It got really really good. FX, that's right. FX. Strain was an FX show. I It started out pretty good, and it kind of dragged for a little bit. It dragged on for a little bit, but then it got kind of good again at the end. But you could tell it was like a cheap TV show. Like they didn't put a lot of money into it. The Wire. I heard about The Wire. Never saw The Wire. I heard that was good too. So I'll check that out. You were out in the final season of Strain. The Strain. You watched all of that shit, and you left at the end. Nah, I don't care how bad the show is. I gotta get the payoff at the end, right? You done made me watch all of this mess. Now I gotta finish it. I don't care how bad it is. It could be Invasion bad. I gotta finish it at this point. The Wire rocks. Okay. Still haven't seen the final half of the last season. A lot of people were pissed off when the nuke went off. Well, there you go, Thrasher. That's how it ended. Nothing is Invasion bad. Legion. I think I started watching that and I didn't finish it. What's that other show? It's a space show. So good. Really, really good. It'll come to me in a second. I can't think of it. But it's bounced around from sci-fi to I think Amazon. Not Battlestar Galactica. The Expanse. Yes. Yes. 2 points for you. The Expanse. Somebody begged me to watch that show, and I thought it was shit. I thought it was going to be shit, I should say. And it turned out to be one hell of a show. If you have not seen The Expanse and you love sci-fi, you need to turn that shit on today. Today. That show is incredible. Incredible. Tribes? Never heard of Tribes. Never heard of Tribes. I'm always looking for something good to watch, man. I'm always looking for something good to watch. Something amazing, something that'll catch your attention that you just want to talk to people about, right? Like that's why I started this channel when it was like the best and the worst of all of this mess came out, right? When uh Marvel's Endgame and Star Wars, like the first movie in this entirely ridiculous new chapter, That started and Endgame started. And I must have watched Bodekin Reacher. I was trying to think of that one. I was trying to think of that. Someone made me watch Reacher, and I started watching. I didn't finish it, but I do want to finish that show. Handmaid's Tale. My wife watched that. She said that was crazy. Uh, there's one on Netflix. I think it's called The Serpent Tail or Serpent something. Serpent Queen. That's good. Serpent Queen was good. Um, yeah, I think them not finishing Counterpart damaged my soul. What was Counterpart? What was that about? I didn't see that. I might need to check that out. Um, when I saw the trailer for Endgame, Marvel's Endgame, I think I watched that trailer and I watched every reaction to that trailer for a month, a solid month. I was that's all I would watch. I mean, I saw people crying and I just wanted to see that same emotion in people's face that I had when I saw that trailer. That that shit blew me away. Probably there's no probably about it. That's the best trailer I've ever seen in my life. Ever. Colony, never saw it. Silo, Silo's on. I think season 2 is about to come out. Amazing. You should watch that. You should watch that too. I think I'm gonna review that one too. I'm definitely gonna review that one too. And I'm gonna start doing more lives, man. I don't know what y'all think of this. I don't know if you think this is all right. I mean, there's only 8 people on here, but I don't give a shit. We just, we just chilling, just having a good time. I should have brought me a drink. Down. My mouth dry as hell. Silo is really good. Silo is really good. Uh, Invasion. Jesus Christ, Invasion. Of course. Um, I actually like Invasion. And I don't like it because it's good, because it's not. It's not good. It's not good. It's funny to me. Like it's like a comedy that's not trying to be. You know? It I think they had 35 cent when they made that show. 35. And they try to spread it out amongst 2 seasons. Some of the stuff that you would see in that show was horrific. I don't think they got a single expert to do anything. They should have asked somebody something. Can you swim in space? Anybody would have told him, even a child would have told him, no, you can't swim in space. So she should probably stop doing this in space. I shit you not. For those of you who have not seen that show, a woman got blown away from her ship and she swam. She swam back to it. So that just gives you some idea as to what you are in for. You think a child wrote it? That's possible. That is entirely possible. It is camp, right? It is camp. It's awful. It is awful. I'm just gonna give you one part. It was probably one of the funniest parts of that show that I had seen, right? The war had already happened, or the aliens have invaded, right? Initially. And the people have fought back at them, right? They didn't show it. They didn't show any of it. And then they had the army guy, and his army or navy, his patch said army when he was behind bars, but he was a Navy SEAL. So um he comes out, right? He's trying to get back to United States. I think he's in London or something, right? They got fakes, they got CGI smoke coming up behind the city, and they got six people who are showing that they're completely happy that the war is over. 6 people, an entire city. They can only spend $10. Get 6 people out there, be like, "Yay, we did it. Yay. Yay for Earth." So bad. Anybody who has not seen Invasion, I recommend it. It's an excellent show. Excellent. It's probably one of the best I've seen. Um, what else you guys got? What other show? My rack to London. I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching my recaps, and that makes me feel good, man. That you guys like my reviews. Hearing that you guys actually like my reviews is, it makes me feel good. It makes me want to keep doing them. Because sometimes you don't know. You know, sometimes you put a video out and not a lot of people watch it, and you're like, okay, what am I doing? What do I need to fix? What is wrong with this? Orphan Black. I don't think I saw that either. Is that another good one? Like, is it good or is it average? I mean, I'll still watch it. I don't care. It ain't like I got nothing else to do. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not trying to get rich doing YouTube. I'm not trying to be the greatest YouTuber out there. I like making people laugh, man. You know, I like people to come to the house, hang out, have a beer, shoot the shit, and then just sit around and laugh. We ain't gotta do nothing special, And I want to do that on YouTube. Like if I can do that through this or whatever, that's fine. You ain't gotta spend no money with me. You ain't gotta do anything. I just want to have good conversation, make people laugh, and just try to get better at doing lives. Maybe I can switch over so you don't have to keep seeing my mug the entire time. Maybe I can show you some clips and we could talk about those clips together. I'll work on doing that. It took me 5 minutes just to get into my live. I didn't even know how to do that. I had to figure that out. Right? I made the live, set it up, and then couldn't figure out how to get in the live. So you're good at what you do. That is wow. Thank you, LJ. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Almost stopped at one point. Almost stopped doing YouTube. Um, I I don't know. I just got burnt out for a little while, and I didn't really think people liked my videos. I thought I was doing something wrong, so I was gonna stop. But hearing stuff like this just makes me want to keep going and make me realize that my stuff isn't awful. It's okay sometimes, and some of my videos are hit or miss, and that's cool too. But if I can make you laugh and get you out of your funk for the day, then I did my job. You know, we can talk about whatever. More lives, more reviews. I'll work on it. I'm definitely gonna do lives for Invasion. I gotta figure out what comes next. Try to figure out another show, something that's funny or something that's scary. Maybe I'll continue on with From. Again, I don't want to take anything away from that really good YouTuber, Julie B. She's an amazing YouTuber, and I wish her all the best. Her channel's growing like crazy. So, and I don't want to take this away from her by no means. Yeah, more lives. More lives. More lives. Y'all give me something to talk about, man. You tell me what you want to talk about. We'll get it. I enjoy your views, and I'm not a YouTuber, but it seems like you have to make connections with other YouTubers in order to grow your viewer base. Yeah, I thought about that. I've thought about that. I've thought about trying to reach out to other YouTubers, and I'm just like, I don't care. You know, I mean, if somebody wants to do that with me, then that's fine. I wouldn't shy away from that. I mean, I've done a collab with the Salty Nerds, who are amazing, but um, I don't I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? I just if people come here and they find me and they find me funny, then that's it. You know, they don't have to leave me any money. I don't have a Patreon. I don't need one. Um, if you want to give on here, that's fine, but you don't have to. I do not need anybody to give me anything, right? This is enough for me, right? Just shooting the shit with y'all is enough for me. Talking about shows. That's what I love doing. Movies and Munchables. Yeah. You know what, man? I might go get me a beer because um I didn't bring nothing. I didn't bring nothing to drink. Nothing, right? Nothing. But that's fine though. Y'all tell me what y'all want to talk about, man. Hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Yep. Got this nasty ass beer. You know the type of beer that you buy from when friends come over. You don't want to drink it, but you just got that extra stuff. That's this. I don't even know what this is. Natty Daddy. Okay, it is what it is. It's something. Y'all got that too. Y'all got alcohol around the house right now. Y'all don't even like. Y'all just saving it for company. Damn, that's bad. All right, so what y'all got, man? What movie? What show y'all want to talk about? I'm gonna leave it to y'all. We can run with whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's late. Not late, but we can run with whatever y'all want to talk about. Whatever show. Mr. Crockett. Let me Google that right now. Mr. Crockett. Where y'all be getting these movies from, man? Is that scary? Oh, it's horror. What? When this come out? I ain't never heard of this. It's a YouTube channel where they do live streams. What? Mr. Crockett. I'm confused. It looks like a kids show, but it's a horror movie. Oh no, I'm gonna check this out. I'm intrigued now. It's on Hulu. Okay. Nah, man, I'm done. I'm done with Kelly said, "Are you watching the Daryl spinoff?" I'm done with Walking Dead. I'm done. I am done. Okay. They did the same thing with the Walking Dead that they did with NCIS. I don't know if y'all know what that is, or CSI, right? They had NCIS New York, NCIS Miami, NCIS Texas, NCIS all these NCIS everywhere, right? They did the same thing with Walking Dead. Walking Dead, whatever. The other show was kind of like the same thing, but it was with kids. Um, then they had the Daryl spinoff. Now they got a Carol spinoff. They had a spinoff with Negan and oh, what was her name? Whatever her name was, her husband got beat in the face with a bat. I hate to put it like that. His eye was out and he was like, "Oh, I love you." You know what I'm saying? His eye was down here. That dude, his wife, she did a show with Negan. So I mean, that's like 5 shows. Nobody wants to watch that much Walking Dead, especially when there's no end to it. We're just doing the same shit. How did Daryl get to Paris? You don't even have to answer that because I don't even want to know. Damn, this beer nasty. Walking Dead World Beyond is trash. Yeah, yeah, I believe it. They're all trash now. All of them. None of them are good. Not one. What are they trying to accomplish? Right? You've done it already. You've beaten many foes. You have nothing to do now. There's no cure. You're not working towards a cure. You're just walking around the planet, doing whatever. You're not working towards nothing. How did Carol get to France? I ain't even seen it. She got to France? Did she go to France to get him? To get Daryl? How did Daryl get to France? Paris. France. So dumb. How did he get there? And with what food? They just be putting people anywhere. You remember when Morgan walked off Walking Dead and then walked over to what was the other one? The one with the kids. I forget what it was. He literally walked off one show and then walked on to the other, and he was on that show from like then on. Daryl got kidnapped on a boat. I thought he just got on a boat and went. Fear the Walking Dead. That's right. The only thing about Fear the Walking Dead that I wish I had seen was when they had the nuke. Right. I saw that scene. I thought that was pretty cool. I almost wanted to watch that show just for that one scene. Right? Just all by itself. All by itself. Walk to another show. Okay. Did any of y'all watch that bullshit Rick and Michonne Walking Dead show? God. That was an entire bag of ass. I didn't like none of, and I thought it was gonna be great, but I didn't end up like none of that. None of it. It was awful. Um it's just it was weird. Like the way everything progressed, it was just weird. Like the way she ran into Rick, she shot down a helicopter. And he was the only one that lived. What? No. No. It crashed with him in it. And he just got out and walked away like it was nothing. And then from then on, they was just having sex for like all the episodes. That's it. That is it. One episode after the next, just just making things happen. Huh? Just getting after it. We're trying to escape, and all y'all doing is just filling your time with that nasty, with the dirty, right? Put your clothes on. I mean, I don't get me wrong, they were my two favorite characters in the regular show. I just by the time that show had come on, no one cared, right? Remember, Rick had quit regular Walking Dead, and they were saving him for a movie, and they were like, nah, we'll just hold on to him for a little while. She was the only one who survived the chlorine gas. Don't even get me started on that chlorine shit. Don't even get me started. She survived it in the beginning, right? And you saw what it did to everybody else at the end, right? They didn't even have. I don't even think they had a mask at the end, and they were just alive. Like they didn't burn them or nothing. First time she got hit with the chlorine gas, it put her down for days or weeks. I think. Right. It took her some time to heal, but at the end, when they got hit by the chlorine gas, all was fine. Just a little. Oh, let's get it off right there. I'm good. Let's go. Was it months? She was down for months. I thought maybe it was months. Still, damn, it's nasty. Ah. Z Nation. I feel like I remember that one. Z Nation. I can't really remember. Like it's kind of escaping me a little bit. Let me check that out. Let me look that up. Z Nation. I'm glad y'all are telling me all this stuff too, because I'm gonna watch all these. Like I'm gonna Google all this stuff, and I'm gonna make people that I love watch these shows whether they want to or not. Z Nation. Okay. How old is this? What year did this come out? Returning in 2024. Season 6. What? How old is this man? Oh yeah, the one who played Bernie Mac's wife on the show. Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing. Get me in trouble on here. Talking about that lady. I ain't gonna do it. Yeah, so it says. Hang on, I'll show you. Z Nation. It's returning. 2024. There you go. You're welcome. There's a lot of weird looking characters on here, man. All of them look like they drank. You know what I'm saying? None of them look like same people. Yep. The show's coming back. Faux show. So, what else y'all got, man? 3 body problems. Oh my! I'm so glad you brought that up. 3 body problems. 3 body problems. I love that show. Love that show. If you don't know what 3 body problems is, first of all, please go watch that show. Please, 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 please go watch that show today. If you're not doing anything, I know some of y'all got to work tomorrow. I thought it was going to be silly. And like I saw the show and I have no idea how to explain it to you. So I'm just not, because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. I would absolutely mess it up right now. But it's a fantastic show. 3 body problems. I think it was on Netflix, right? Was it Netflix? I think it was Netflix. Fantastic show. This next one is really good. It was a cartoon though. It's not cartoon, but it's animated. I think it's called Blue Eyes. I think that's on Netflix. Blue Eyes. It's a story about a female samurai, I think, and she is not accepted by her people, because she was. Yeah, Blue Eye Samurai. Thank you. You've been saving me all night, man. I wish I could give you like a bag right now or something. I don't know what I can do on live. I don't know how to give people shit on live. I'm sorry. I don't know. If I did, I would give it to you, but I don't know how to do that. But I give you that. Is that Is that cool? You know, applause. I'm gonna figure it out, man. I promise. I'm gonna figure it out when I do. I'll give you more than applause. Like pause. That sounded weird, but you know what I'm saying? Like whatever is on here. So Blue Eye Samurai, right? So I think it's Chinese and white mixed. Her mom was aped. If you know what I'm saying, by a really terrible person, and she was born and she was not accepted by her own culture for being Chinese. Plus, she had blue eyes. Duh, because that's the name of the show. So what they did was they dressed her up like a boy, and she hid her eyes. I think behind the hat. She wore glasses too, but she would always hold her hat down. She was bad as shit. She was bad. And the story's good too. Story's good. Blue Eye Samurai peak animation. Yep. Yeah. The fight scenes were good. Um, I feel like somebody should have warned me though, because sometimes, and it just came out of nowhere. I thought it was I, I don't know how to put it. Like I thought it was, just fighting is all I would see. And then I didn't. I saw cartoon penises. And I was not I was not expecting that. So there I am with my son watching this lady just cut through all of these samurais, and then I there's animated junk on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And it's close up too, like all close up, like right here. So, I gotta think fast. I gotta move quick. I gotta get out of there, because I'm uncomfortable now. It ain't even real, and I'm uncomfortable as hell. So just be forewarned, okay? A lot of shots of the male genitalia, and they come out of nowhere. It's just unexpected. So prepare yourself, if you know what I'm saying. That's all. That's your warning for Blue Eyed Samurai, okay? It's not just ass whoopings, okay? It's ass too. Scavenger's Reign. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out. Um, Sometimes you get movies that come out of nowhere that you didn't even know were out. Um, and this one came out a while ago, and I thought it was stupid. I thought it was gonna be stupid. Like I saw a dragon on the front of the cover, and I was like, okay, so this is a dragon movie, it's sci-fi clearly or something like that. I'll watch this. It was Rain of Fire. I don't know if you have seen Rain of Fire, but I mean that that is one that flew under the radar. If you want to see an excellent movie about dragons and all of that, Rain of Fire is sick. So sick. Yep, with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey. I didn't even know Rain of Fire was in the movie theaters. No idea. I was in the military when Rain of Fire came out. And I was, Sunday, I didn't have nothing to do. So I was just like, oh, there's a movie. I'll just get that. It's got dragons on it. Blown away by this movie. Completely blown away. No idea that it was as good as it was. Now movies suck. They're awful. Scavenger's Reign. All right, I'm looking that up too. Scavenger's Reign. Scavenger's Reign, season 2. Where'd you say you left off? Did you know there was a season 2? Scavenger's Reign. Oh, wait. Oh, I saw this. I saw this. I saw that. I did see that. Um, yeah, I was disappointed by that. I was disappointed by Scavenger's Reign. Okay. I waited. I watched every episode of that show. Okay. If you don't know what Scavenger's Reign is, yeah, I'm still alive right now. Leslie, good to see you. Leslie and me go way back. Way back. We down like two flat tires. What's up, Leslie? Good to see you. So if you're unfamiliar with Scavenger's Reign, these people go to space and their ship gets shot down. And then you just get to see the mind of some creator who is 100% like, they're so creative. They created an entire planet with these weird animals and monsters and things that can kill you, plants that can kill you, and it's so interesting the way that they formed it. And I waited the whole season to get off for them to get off the planet. And they don't get off. They don't. The entire time I wasted my entire time. Just sat there, watched, waited. The entire season they were tracking this ship. They saw it crash, and every season, every episode was them walking to the spaceship. Walking, encountering a new enemy, a new fight, trying to get all the way up to the ship, right? And I'm waiting. I'm like, they've got to get off this planet. They're gonna do it. You know what they end up doing? They stay there because the ship blew up. They wasted a whole season. I just sat there and wasted all my time watching these people walk across this planet, and they don't even leave. They don't even leave. You're not tricking me into watching the season 2. It's not gonna happen. Aeon Flux is amazing. You're not tricking me to watch another one of them shows. I ain't doing it. I'm just not. Reign of Fire was tight, Leslie. It was. It's probably in my top 10. Probably one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Maybe that's what I should do, like a top 10 list of what are my favorite movies all time. Top 10 favorite movies all time. I'll listen to y'all's if you want to spit them out. Leslie, your job sounds so interesting. If I ever need a lawyer for anything, I'm gonna call you. I don't even care if you don't pick up. I'm just gonna call you anyway. Hunger Games. So I don't know about Hunger Games, man. I like the first one, but then they started jumping all over the place. Then they did one before, then they did a one after, and then you don't know who's who. And I'm still trying to figure out what is going on. Right? They killed the guy, and then they went further back. Maybe, I think, to before the games, when the games were still a thing. Like, why are they doing this? Why do they tell stories out of sequence? Right? Is because the first one was so good, you're like, oh, we'll go back and tell the first story. I don't care about the first story anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I've already seen the third story. Right? So there are no stakes in the first story because I know they don't die. So It's just like Star Wars. And when they did the first Star Wars movie with Jyn Erso and all them. I don't care about that. I don't care. I don't care. I know they don't die. I know Urso dies. What are the stakes in this movie? Well, I'm not pulling for the hero if I know at the beginning of the movie you don't make it. Leslie, are you a Hunger Games fanatic? Are you that person? You have so many movies, Tech. I'd love to hear them. You know, I ain't got nothing but time, as you can see. I got nothing to do. Nothing. Star Wars 1977 and Empire are the only ones. You like Jedi? Return of the Jedi was good. Return of the Jedi was pretty good. This is the strongest, nastiest beer I've ever had in my life. Is this 8% alcohol? Ewoks ruined it. Well, you gotta look past the Ewoks, man. You gotta look past the Ewoks. You got the original trilogy is still the best. I think they had a fantastic opportunity to capitalize on bringing back the old regime and creating something amazing, and they blew it. Like blew it. They didn't even try, right? And Han Solo, Harrison Ford didn't want to come back. He was just like, I'm only coming back if you kill me. And they just messed the bed with that whole thing. The whole thing. Rey could have been so good. She could have been a phenomenal character. And they blew it with her. They blew her. They made her a Mary Sue and they ruined it. Ruined it. And they made her nobody, and then they made her somebody, and then they made her nobody again. You can almost see the fight happening on screen with the clash between directors. It was ridiculous. Should have been Luke's daughter. I have a better proposal. How about we just get away from Luke Skywalker altogether, right? I mean, he can make a cameo or he could be someone's mentor, but how about we get away from it? Are the Skywalkers the only family in space? You know, I can I see someone else? Make another story. Do something else. It's space. There's more than just him out there, right? Or here's another idea. Here's another idea. You can have Luke Skywalker and all them, right? Join together with the Sith to take on an enemy that is unknown from the outer rim. You could do that, right? But they don't. They just keep on with Luke Skywalker's uncles and aunts, cousins, goddamn brother-in-laws, just Skywalker family. We just keep on with the Skywalkers. Was Palpatine standing though? Thrasher said, but in the end, the only one standing was Palpatine. Was he? Was he standing? Was he standing? That's another part that ruined the movie. Huh? It's another part that ruined the absolute hell out of that movie. Palpatine was thrown down a tube, blown up, and then the thing he was thrown down blew up again. The Death Star blew up. He was in there when it blew up. How? How is he alive? And then it crashed into a planet. That's three ways that he died. Okay? He's not alive. I don't care how they write it. He's not alive. Ray Palpatine, stop it. Stop it. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Not tonight. Nope. Not tonight. I'm glad I got to talk to you too, Leslie. You've always been there for me, and I appreciate you. Really, truly, I do. So thank you, and good luck tomorrow with whatever you're doing, and I hope you have a good Friday. Retcon everything never works well. That's right. It doesn't. It doesn't work well. But if you have to retcon anything, your movie probably sucks. So stop doing that. What about um what's his name? Keanu Reeves movies where he's an assassin. What's it called? John Wick. John Wick. John Wick. Any John Wick fans? Any John Wick fans? Big John Wick fan. Well, what did you think about the last one where John Wick dies? Sorry. Spoilers for anyone who did not know that. Battlestar Galactica. I have not seen the new. I've never watched the new show of Battlestar Galactica. I saw the old show. Yes, I'm old enough to remember the old show. I'm that old. So my bad. My bad. Live from the bushes. Hey, I was just kidding though. So there you go. 2000s Battlestar is epic. The only thing I remember is that they had come up with like a new way to curse, and then people started using that way. Wick 4 might be my favorite. What did you think about John Wick dying in the last movie? Oh shit, that's right. I mean, he didn't die. Sorry, live from the bushes. Yeah, frack it. Frack it. It was so dumb. That doesn't roll off the tongue the same way the other word does. Bear Grylls. What? Bear Grylls. Feldergarb. Is that a made up word? You just making up stuff? Right. So I I swear John Wick fell down them stairs like 87 times. 87 times. And he crawled up them stairs twice. I I don't I don't understand. So the purpose of me asking you that was to tell you this. I thought that was the end of John Wick. Apparently, there's a new one coming out. I don't know if you've seen this trailer, but there's a new John Wick that is out. Ballerina? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like his daughter or something. I think he's in it. I don't know if he's in it as a flashback, but he's in it. They just keep undeading people. Bear McCreary. Okay, I was like, what's Bear Grylls got to do with any of this? Ballerina. I mean, I like John Wick. I'm not gonna lie. I like John Wick, but this is getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. His daughter now. His daughter is fight. She's an assassin. Come on, man. Come on. I'm gonna beg you to stop it. Just stop. Get some help. Just stop. Stop doing this. Keanu is making money, and Keanu is a good dude. From all accounts, what I hear, Keanu is a fantastic gentleman, right? He does everything right. He helps people, and he's a great human being, right? But you know, I like the John Wick movies, but If stop killing them if you want them to come back. Stop doing that. Or you can't kill somebody and bring them back. Like Palpatine, you got to stop. You got to stop doing that. Once they're dead, they're dead. I saw that they did a show about the Continental. I did see that they were gonna do that. So maybe I'll check that out. I just like to say that my highest count tonight was 9 or I'm sorry, 11. Huh? That's breaking a record for me. I had 11 people in here. That beats my past record of 8. That's what I'm talking about. Moving on up. I appreciate y'all. Ugh, I don't know. I mean, I told you, man, this is fun for me. This is fun for me. I just get to chill out with y'all. I know some of y'all got to work in the morning, and that's fine too. You know, Palpatine sleeps in the healing goo. Well, I mean, I guess he should probably stay in there a little bit longer. His finger was missing skin. Black Sails. I saw that. I meant to watch that. Foundation. I'm watching. And if Leslie hears, she's still here. I love Foundation, and Leslie loves Foundation, and that is the hardest show to explain. It is so complicated. It's so complex. So complex. Leslie, you have a blessed night. Huh? You have a fantastic night. I will talk to you next time. That show is almost impossible to explain. There are so many moving parts to that show. So many. So many. And it's good. I'm not denying that it's good. It's fantastic, right? But have you ever tried to explain that in 15 minutes? Right? Have you ever tried to do that? You can't do it. You can't do it. You just can't. Foundation is for thinkers. I know that, Leslie. It's a good show, okay? It's just hard to explain, right? I like to make stuff funny, and there's nothing funny about Foundation. It's a really good sci-fi show. Take 30 or 40 minutes. I was unaware that people would sit around and watch my my show or one of my uh videos for 30 or 40 minutes. I didn't know that they would do that. I thought I had to be like 10 to 12 minutes and out, and they would just turn me off. There's a lot of fun. Okay, I'll start doing videos that are 30 and 40 minutes. But if I get like 1 or 3 people that are watching my videos, I ain't doing them no more. All right. All right, Leslie. See you later. I mean, so I try to see no she let's see. Text says no one covers the Apple shows at all. So if I find out about a show that's on probably one of the sites that is not so popular, like Peacock or Apple or something like that, right? I'll try and jump on it and see what the response is. And if nobody watches it, then I'll stop talking about it. The trouble is you'll get 3 people that watch it and they're like, "Yay, you're talking about the show." And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. You know, Slow Horses, fantastic show. Gold star for you. Gold star for you. That is a fantastic show. Now, I have not seen season 2. I've watched season 1, and that's a really good show. I need to get on season 2. Wait a minute. Maybe I saw season 2. Is it season 3 I haven't seen? I think maybe it's just season 3 I haven't seen. Season 3 gets better? Season 2 was good. Okay. I'm in. I got something to watch tomorrow. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow. Bad Monkey. Wait, is that with the comedian? Gary Oldman is so good. Bad Monkey. That sounds weird. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Vince Vaughn. I used to love Vince Vaughn. He's probably one of my favorite comedians. I'm just in movies. Like I don't know if he does stand up or anything, but he was probably one of the best. Yeah, so I made so live from Bushes says the header says this live is about Teacup. Yeah, so I figured I was trying to think ahead, right? I was trying to think ahead and I was like, Teacup is gonna be just like From. Like this is gonna be a great story. And I need to get ahead of the curve and just start alive, and then I'll talk about it on Thursday. And then Thursday came around and I watched the next 2 episodes and I was like, what the hell am I supposed to talk about for a couple hours with this show? So I just figured I would, do my best. And we got halfway through it and I was like, shit, I'm out of stuff to talk about. I'm out. I got nothing left. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, so you learn lessons when you do this, right? Like if when I started this tonight, I was nervous, you know. I was nervous because you don't want to say anything stupid, you don't want to do anything stupid, right? Sometimes you forget you're on the internet and you might do something dumb like I don't know, digging your nose or something, which I'm not doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm using it as an example. I'm just saying, right? And I just I had to get through the nervousness, which is gone. But you also want to talk about stuff that people like, to keep them engaged or whatever, you know. And yeah, I only got 6 people on here, but I don't care. I don't care. Maybe it'll grow over time. Maybe it won't. But again, I got y'all in here, and I like talking to y'all. So thanks, Thrasher. I appreciate that. Does anybody have to work tomorrow? Am I keeping anybody up? No. Okay. Yeah, I just so I woke up today and then I had to do a video. So I did a video on From and then I put that out. Then I had to go to my son's football practice. Then I had to come back here and watch 2 episodes of Teacup and then jump on here. And I finished just in time. And I had to fast forward through some of the through episode 5, I think. I don't know. Yeah, 5. Had to fast forward through episode 5 a little bit just so I can make this. You live on the other side of the planet. Intriguing. May I inquire as to where? Text says I'm on the West Coast. It's only 9. Okay, you know, Thailand. That's what's up. I'm in Philadelphia, so that's cool, man. That's cool. I never talked to nobody from Thailand before. We're out on the West Coast. Live by the bushes. So weird. From Canada, retired Army. Me too. I was in I was at Fort Campbell and Germany, Kitzingen, Germany. East Oakland. We do need a Discord. We do. So the second I learn how to do that, I will start one. I will do one. Okay. Listen, I'm still trying to figure this out. I had somebody come on my page and they were like, listen, you need to create like a Twitter page or something. Oh shit. I just heard something screaming. And I'm in the basement all by myself. Turns out it was just the water. Just the water pipes. Yeah, I'm gonna work on trying to do some stuff because I want to be able to give gifts like when I'm doing a live to people. I want to be able to bring people in and be able to start a Discord and try to draw more people in, and so we can have more of a good time and stuff like that. I need to learn how to do stuff like that, but you know I got an 8-year old and trying to figure out how to do this and spend time with him. Like, cause he'll come downstairs and be like, "Daddy, you still recording? Do you want to play Madden?" And you know, I can't say no to my son. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to put down a YouTube and go play Madden, even though you don't want to. So, all right, I appreciate the advice. I'm gonna look into Discord tomorrow. See how to do that. See if I can get on that. It's a good idea. I should ask the salty nerds. Maybe they could help. So I'm only going to keep y'all for about another, I don't know, probably 15, 20 minutes. Hang on. I don't want to just be wasting y'all time. I think this is probably most relaxed I've been since I've done a live ever. I don't think I've ever had like, I won't say fun. Like this has been fun, but it's never been relaxed. This relaxed for me. Like I've always been nervous trying to think about what my next word was going to be, what I was going to say next. So thank you for making this easier for me. You know, shit. I still got on the goddamn whistle from football practice. All right, live from the bushes. I appreciate that. And I will look into Discord tomorrow and I will do a live for the next from episode or I'll just put out a video because I can only really do lives like Thursdays and Fridays. But I could put out a video for from on Monday. But hey man, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every one of you, and thank you for hanging out with me and just bullshit. Um, I love talking about movies and shows, and I love talking about movies and shows with other people who are passionate about movies and shows. So, you know, y'all be easy and y'all have a good night. And I know I said 15 minutes, but I don't have shit to talk about. Nothing. Nothing. So I love y'all, man. Truly. And I'll talk to y'all next time. Y'all good? Everybody good? All right. Y'all have a good one. All right, Thrasher. Y'all be easy.